Good evening. Welcome to our Jews in the pews in our sanctuary, to our neighbors, to those joining on live stream and JBS. Whether you are in the 6th generation of your family here at Central, or you are joining us for the very first time. This is my third and final Yom Kippur appeal as president, and I really wanted to end on a high note. I planned to speak about the pandemic as something in our rear view mirror. It is. COVID, not so much. You know where it says in the car, objects in your mirror are closer than they appear? Well, it turns out to be true for viruses as well. As soon as I finished writing my first draft, I promptly got COVID for the very first time. And as you know, both your senior rabbi and president just came out of isolation for the first time. And the joke is on us. As my mother used to say, man tracht und Gott lacht. We plan and God laughs. Despite that unfortunate blip in our narrative, I'd like to take us back to spring of 2020, when coronavirus swept the nation and New York shut down. We at Central were able to immediately move all synagogue activities online because a decade earlier, Rabbi Rubenstein, there he is. Okay, Rabbi Rubenstein made the prescient commitment to offer an online alternative to serve homebound congregants. Thanks to our nimble staff and clergy team, we had Shabbat services that kept us connected. We had top-flight education for all ages, restorative meditation with Rabbi Buchdahl, invaluable pickle making with Rabbi Lorge, and joyful singing with Cantor Mutlu, and often his adorable, talented family. While this transition appeared seamless, it actually required significant resources. The unwavering commitment of our remarkable team, both on the bima and behind the scenes, and the generosity of you, our members. COVID receded and you gradually returned, and we chose the dual option, offering high-quality services and programs, both in person and online. This again required significant additional financial and staff resources, and you stepped up. Now I am so happy to say we are back. Shabbat attendance has returned to pre-pandemic levels with hundreds of worshipers filling the pews. The uplifting music of our services is augmented by members celebrating milestones, visiting youth groups, speakers, and choirs, mourners marking yahrzeits. Our schools serve over 800 children from nursery to high school. Thousands of adults attend classes and presentations on topics with which we all wrestle: anti-Semitism, end-of-life planning, the fractures in Israel. We live our Jewish values by feeding our neighbors, resettling refugee families, helping those transitioning out of incarceration, and as you heard, our Center for Exploring Judaism served nearly 200 this year, and we welcomed 75 new Jews after conversion. But upon reflection, it is clear to me that we are not simply back. Instead, we have moved beyond where we were before. We are not who we were before the pandemic, with tens of thousands joining for Shabbat and hundreds of thousands of you joining on the high holidays. We are now a community that never existed anywhere before the pandemic. We are a local congregation with a worldwide community building Jewish connections across borders. We always will prioritize our congregants here in the city, but now we more nimbly serve members who can't be with us because of physical limitations or because they are outside of our area. And just as every B'nai Mitzvah and wedding at Central strengthens Jewish tradition in our membership, so too our global participants reinforce Jewish values and traditions in their own homes and communities. In this way, Central is living up to our belief that a life with Judaism is more meaningful than life without it, and that Reform Judaism affirms that faith and modernity can walk hand in hand. I want to direct some brief comments first to our members and then to our live streamers. First, I want to welcome back our members to the sanctuary. I can't tell you how wonderful it is for us to be together. You are our families, my family right there, our dinner companions. My dinner companions are here as well, our friends, our neighbors. Over this period, when we were apart, many of you actually became more engaged with Central. More of you joined the synagogue, and in 2022, despite several years' absence from our sanctuary, 86% of members attended 3 or more high holiday services, in person or virtually, up from 42% in 2019. Are our members more engaged simply due to the availability of online options? Or has the experience of COVID somehow changed our connection to Judaism, Central Synagogue, and each other? And maybe, consciously or not, the rise in anti-Semitism in the world and in our surrounding community has focused our minds on what is at stake when we choose proudly and publicly a Jewish identity. Whatever your reasons, Central's ability to offer our members the Jewish experience we cherish depends very literally on you. The Yom Kippur Appeal funds over 1/3 of our operating budget, allowing us to attract and retain the best clergy and staff, supporting our education and programs, providing dues and tuition assistance to 1 in 5 of our own members. None of this can happen without your decision to contribute. I also want to briefly address our live stream and global community. You are a wildly diverse group, joining us from across the United States and from over 100 countries around the globe. Yael from Mumbai, Mona from Johannesburg, Lucia from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. We created the online-only neighborhood, over 700 strong. Actually, I heard it was over 800 yesterday, who worship together but never enter our physical space. It is run by Rabbi Andrew Mandel, who has joined our clergy full-time to work on growing the online Jewish experience for members, neighbors, and live streamers alike. Last year, I asked you, our online community, for your support, and you responded in ways that frankly knocked our socks off. 7,000 non-member live streamers donated to our Yom Kippur Appeal last year. Tonight, I ask that you consider a gift not only in recognition of what these services mean to you, but also to enable us to continue providing the highest quality live stream to all, regardless of financial capacity. As Rabbi Buchdahl recently said, rabbis are in the awe business. As a physician for over 40 years, I would say that doctors are in the healing business. But as an institution, Central is in both, what I might call the wholeness business. That means powerful worship, educating our children in what Judaism actually stands for, providing them with tools to respond to anti-Semitism, holding us up in the face of unspeakable grief, providing a lifeline to the lonely, and offering us all opportunities to participate in repairing the world. How has Central made you whole this year? And when might you need it in the future? I want to close my final Yom Kippur appeal with a few personal thank yous to Rabbi Buchdahl and Executive Director Kaban, who we know is out there somewhere, for your wisdom and leadership, to Central's clergy and staff for your tireless work on our behalf, and to all of you for the honor, privilege, and pleasure of serving this great congregation, even with the tsuris of changes with assigned seating. Finally, I want to thank you for your past support and to ask each of you to join me in this crucial project once again, or for the first time. As a great mentor taught me, don't give until it hurts. Give until it feels great. Your contribution will assure that Central Synagogue has the resources to help make each of us whole in this new year of 5784. Thank you, and Shana Tova.